So good afternoon to one and all. I am R.V. Kiran, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Chevrolet Engineering College. So in this video lecture, I am going to explain about the introduction of the measurement standard system, which is in the second unit of the syllabus of metrology. This is my sixth video lecture regarding to the subject metrology. So first of all, we are going to explain the what are the elements of a measuring system, what are the basic functions and elements of a measuring system. So we are taking it as swipe, the word swipe, so in which each letter determines the element of a measuring system. So first one, S stands for standards, so different types of physical quantity or property which is relative to quantitative comparison is made, that is called as a standard. And next, W stands for workpiece. So the feature of the workpiece is to be measured. Features means dimensions of the workpiece is to be measured. Next, I stands for instrument. So the instruments needed for the measurement. The instruments needed for the measurement. P stands for the person or the skill of the human operator, and E stands for environment. So the conditions in which measurements is done. So these are the total 5 elements of the measuring system. Swipe. So S stands for standards, W for workpiece, I for instrument, P for person, and E for environment. So these are the 5 types of elements we need to define a measurement or measuring system, in which a person is used to define the measurement by using the workpiece as the external part and instrument as the internal part of a measurement. So he need to check some standards or define some standards by using the instrument. So that is the main meaning of the word swipe. Next, the objectives of the metrology during the measurement standard system. First one is the complete evaluation of a newly developed product. So we need to evaluate a newly developed product. So what are the basic design and what are the geometrical construction of the newly developed product and what is its precision. So these are all standards have to be evaluated in the newly developed products. Next one is the determination of the process capabilities. So we need to determine the process capability of the product. Next one, determination of the measuring instrument capabilities and ensure that they are quite sufficient for their respective measurements. So these are all the instrument capabilities. So instrument capabilities means what are the capability of an instrument to be measured. For example, we are taking a vernier caliper or a micrometer. So let us take a inside micrometer or a outside micrometer. So the working capability or the measuring capability of the outside micrometer is up to 30 only. So if you have to measure above 30 it will not be useful for you to measure or take a measurement. But you can take a measurement above 30 in the vernier calipers. So you can take freely by using the vernier calipers instrument. So that is the instrument capability. So basing upon the measurement also we are going to determine the instrument capability. Next, minimizing the cost of the inspection by effective and efficient use of the available facilities. So by efficiently using the available facilities, we are going to minimize the cost of the inspection. So the cost of inspection can be reduced by taking the less precise machines and effective use of the facilities. Next, reducing the cost of rejects and rework through application of statistical quality control techniques. So this is used by taking the interchangeable assembly only. So by using the interchangeable assembly, you can reduce the cost of rejection product and rework through the application of statistical quality control technique. Next one, to standardize the measuring methods. So to standardize the measuring methods also you can apply that to maintain the accuracies of measurement. Generally, the accuracy of a measurement can be done in many ways because by testing it each in the every section, that is the mean measurement, that is you are taking it in different positions. For suppose you are taking a 100 shaft of solid shaft which is of a circular, that is in cylindrical position. So you have to check the measurement of the solid shaft. And now I am taking the 100 solid shaft into five measurements. So I am taking the trial and error method in five positions and I am taking the five types of measurements. So five different measurements can be done in five different positions. And each position has different measurement. So that is why you are taking the mean position of this. Next, to standardize the measuring methods. So, standardize the measuring methods means what are the measuring methods you can take for the measurement. For example, I am taking the external diameter of a solid shaft. So, we can take it in the outside micrometer and vernier calipers. So, both the measuring methods can be used. But based upon the initial diameter of the shaft, we are taking any one best method. So for suppose it is of 40 diameter, we does not take it in the does not take in the outside micrometer, but we can take it in the vernier caliper. But when it is in the position of 25 or less or 30 we can take easily it in the micrometer also. So that is the standardization of the measuring methods. Next one is the to maintain the accuracies of measurement. So what is the accuracy of we are taking the measurement. So when we take use it to take five different measurements. So ఒకే షాఫ్ట్ కి లేకపోతే ఒకే వర్క్ పీస్ కి ఫైవ్ డిఫరెంట్ పొజిషన్స్ లో తీసుకున్నాము మెజర్మెంట్. ఫైవ్ డిఫరెంట్ పొజిషన్స్ లో కూడా మనకి మెజర్మెంట్ అనేది యాక్యురేట్ గా లేకపోతే, సో ఇప్పుడు ఒక 35 mm డయామీటర్ ఉన్న సాలిడ్ షాఫ్ట్ అనుకున్నాం. సో రీడింగ్ వచ్చేసి మనకి 34.96, 34.85, 34.98, సో అట్లా వస్తాయి పొజిషన్స్ అనేవి. సో మనకి మెజర్మెంట్స్ అనేవి అలా వస్తాయి. కానీ అలా కాకుండా 36 కానీ 35 కన్నా అబోవ్ వస్తే మాత్రం సో అది ఇన్యాక్యురేట్గా ఉన్నట్లు అనమాట. సో మనకి మెజర్మెంట్ అనేది ఇన్యాక్యురేట్గా ఉన్నట్టు, విచ్ ఈస్ హయ్యర్ దాన్ ది మెజర్మెంట్, యాక్చువల్ మెజర్మెంట్. Next, to prepare design for all types of gauges and special inspection fixtures. So these gauges can be designed for and to prepare for the measurement only, and special inspection fixtures also can be desired in this preparation. So these are all the different types of objectives of metrology in the measurement standard system. So these are all the elements and objectives to be satisfied in the measurement standard system. Next, what are the measurement standards? So these standard is defined as the something that is set up and established by the authority as a rule for the measurement of quantity, weight, extent, and value or quality. So these are the standards which is to measure the quantity. That is, quantity means weight, extent, value, or quality. So if you are going to define a standard, that is, if you are taking a weight of a laptop or weight of a cell, what are the measurement you are going to deal it with? So we are taking it with grams. So that is the measurement of the quantity or weight. So if you are going for a liquid, that is, if you are going to measure a if you are going to measure water in a container, you are going to measure it with liters. So these are the different types of standards. And if you are going to measure a landscape, you are going to deal with meter or yard. So these are the different types of measurement standards to be measured of the quantity, weight, extent, value, or quality. So roll of standards. So what are the roll of standards for the measurement standard? To support the system which makes measurements possible throughout the world. So these type of standards is defined the called roll of standards, and it also facilitates the interchangeability of parts only. So it also facilitates the interchangeability of parts. So these are upon the roll of standards. Next, types of measurement standards. So what are the different types of measurement standards to be used? First one is the line standard. It is also called as length standard also. So line standard or length standard. So when the length is measured as the distance between centers of two engraved lines, so it is called as line standard. So it can be measured between two engraved lines. That is, we can take it as the best example as scale. So all steel rule. So steel rule or scale can be taken as the best examples for the line standard. You can see it in the picture also. So they are inscribed between the two engraved lines. Next, you can see the slip gauges also. So below picture is about the slip gauges. So these are all the slip gauges which is of definite length, that is 20, 30, 40, 70. So these are all the different standards, that is the length between two definite centers or engraved lines. And next, end standard is defined as the length is measured as the distance between two flat parallel surfaces or faces. So it is defined between the length between two parallel faces. That is in the vernier calipers or micrometers, dial gauge, or any other measuring standard, that is slip gauge or any other standard, it can be taken as.
Morning, sir.
And third one, it is wavelength standard. When the wavelength is measured as the distance between wavelength of the light. So it can be taken as the wavelength standard. So these are the three different types of standard units in the measurement standard system. So first one is the line standard. We can call it as length standard also. Second one is the end standard, and third one is the wavelength standard. So for the length standard, we are taking it as scale as the example, scale or tape. These are all the different length standards. And end standards is slip gauges, vernier caliper, and any other measurement gauges. So wavelength standard is taken between distance between wavelength of light. So in that, first one is the length standard. So the basic examples for the line standard or length standard is meter and yard. So meter and yard are the two best examples for the line standard. So first of all, it is a meter. The meter is defined as the 1650763.7 wavelength of the orange radiation in the vacuum of krypton 86 isotope. That is the wavelength standard of the krypton. Next one is the yard. So yard in Telugulo gajam antaruna. Gajamne yard antam English lo. The yard is defined as the 0.9144 of the meter. So 1 yard is equal to 0.91 meters. This is equivalent to the 15 lakh 9450.3 wavelength of the same radiation. So this can be taken in the same radiation. So in the below pictures you can see the meter, which is the initial prototype meter. So in that it is of the width 16 mm. So this is the width of the meter prototype, and height of the meter prototype is of 16 mm. So the length is 1 meter, that is 100 centimeters. So here you can see the engravings on the meter. So total it is of the length 38 inches. So total the length of the meter is 38 inches. And here you can see the drilled holes of the both ends of a meter. You can see it in the top end, in which the gold flecks are attached to it. The gold flecks are attached to the meter both ends, which is drilled, which is of 1 by 2 inches, that is a half inch portion. And we can see the difference between the line standard and the end standard. In the first picture, this is of the line standard. Top one is the workpiece. So we have to calculate the measurement for the this workpiece. So be it anyone. And we have the length measurement, that is the steel rule. So we are measuring it with the workpiece. So it is a greater than 10 centimeters and less than 11 centimeters, that is up to 11.8. So the steel rule length is greater than the workpiece. So what is to be calculated is less than which to be measured. So which instrument to be measured. Next we are taking the end standard position. So we are taking a snap gauge here. So it is one of the type of gauges. It is a snap gauge, and the workpiece is fitted to its parallel edges. So these are the parallel edges, and the workpiece is going to fit in the parallel edges of the snap gauge. So the basic difference is, so in the line standard we have more length quantity, but in the end standard you have to define between two engraved lines. So that is the basic difference there. So here the workpiece diameter is 0.250 and the snap gauge ends are 0.275 mm. So the snap gauge ends are 0.275 mm. So that is the measurement division. Next one is the basic difference between line standard and the end standard. First one is the principle. First characteristic is the principle. So in the line standard, length is measured between only two lines. So the length is measured between the two lines only. But coming to the end standard, the length is expressed between two flat parallel surfaces. So it is of two flat parallel surfaces only. So that is the principle of the two standard. So generally line standard is measured between the two lines only, that is of steel rule or measuring tape or any other thing. But the end standard is expressed between the two parallel flat surfaces, that is of the two lengths. Second characteristic is the measurement. So what is the time of measurement? So how much time it can be taken? So for the line standard, it is simple and quick. But for the end standard, the time for measurement is more. So when you take a reading in the scale, it will take up to 5 to 10 seconds only. But when you take a measurement in the vernier calipers or any other thing, it will take at least 1 minute. So if you are trained also, you will take at least 1 minute. So that is the basic difference. So in the line standard, the measurement is simple and quick, but for the end standard, it will be more time. It will take more time. Third one is the type of error. So what is the type of error it will be evaluated? So possibility of parallax error for the line standard. So possibility of parallax error. And for the end standard, it is the possible error due to improper reading or change in temperature. So the error comes from the change in temperature, that is of the when it is in summer, it will be of one type, and it is in winter, it will be in other type. సో మనకి సమ్మర్ లో ఒకలాగా తీసుకుంటాం రీడింగ్, వింటర్ లో ఒకలాగా తీసుకోవచ్చు రీడింగ్. ఎందుకంటే మనం తీసుకునే ప్రతి మెజర్మెంట్ అండ్ మెజరింగ్ సిస్టమ్స్ కూడా మెటల్స్ తోటి తయారైనవి. సో మెటల్స్ అనేవి ఏం చేస్తాయంటే మనకి సీజన్ కి లెంత్ కానీ లేకపోతే విత్నెస్ కానీ కొంచెం చేంజ్ అవుతుంది, మైన్యూట్ గా చేంజ్ అవుతుంది. దాన్ని ఇక్కడ ఎర్రర్ గా తీసుకుంటున్నాను. Next, the accuracy. Fourth characteristic is the accuracy. So up to 0.2 mm unless provided with magnifying so glass. So that is the accuracy. Up to plus or minus 0.2 we can take it as the plus or minus 0.2. And for the end standard it is plus or minus 0.001 mm. So it is very accurate regarding to lens standard. Next one is the manufacture and cost. So what is the type of manufacture, and it is the cost of the lens standard and lens standard. So for the lens standard, it is comparatively simple to manufacture and cheaper than the end standard. So it is easy to manufacture and cost is also cheap. But coming to the end standard, has a complex method and these are higher in cost. So the higher in accuracy, the higher also the cost. It is for the end standard. Next one is the effect of use. So in the line standard, end of the scale is subjected to the wear. Wear means అరిగిపోవడం. Two sides కూడా అరిగిపోయే కొద్ది మనకి యూసేజ్ చేసే కొద్ది ఎఫెక్ట్ అనేది తగ్గిపోతుంది అన్నమాట. That is the effect of scale. So the end of the scale is subjected to the wearness, that is that is the total deduction of the actual length. And in the end standard, it is due to the continuous use of the measurement phases, which get worn out. Special end pieces may be needed. That is, we can replace it with the other ones. So that is the two end points of the end standard. So these two end standards can be replaced with the other one. Next is the effect of environment. So these metal standards. So next slide is about the metal standards versus wavelength standards. So in the metal standards, first one is the effect of environment. So this is influenced by the variation of environment conditions like temperature, pressure, humidity, etc. So these are all the effects of environment in the metal standard. And in the wavelength standard, not affected by the environmental conditions. So these are generally not affected due to the environmental conditions. Next, replacement after damage. So if damaged exact copies cannot be made in the metal standard, so you can replace it with the other one, but exact copies does not made. But in the wavelength standard, it can be easily produced, that is easily reproduced. Second one, wear and tear. So what is the wear and tear of the metal stand is, it is affected by wear and tear. But for the wavelength standard, it does not subjected to wear and tear. It will not be affected by the wearness and tearness. Wearness means అరిగిపోవడం, tear అంటే కట్ అయిపోవడం. సో పూర్తిగా అక్కడి నుంచి క్రాక్స్ వచ్చేసి కట్ అయిపోయేదాన్ని వేరు టైర్ అంటారమ్మా. Next, availability of replicas, that is the same type of object. So exact replicas are not available elsewhere. So because it is made with interchangeable manufacture only. So that is why exact replicas is not available. But in the wavelength standard, identical copies can be kept in all standard laboratories. So these identical copies can be kept in the all the standard laboratories. So this is done in all the standard laboratories. The last one is the security requirement. So for the metal standard, it is used to required to be preserved or stored, required to be preserved or stored under strict surveillance to prevent damage or destruction. So these strict. Next, for the wavelength standard, no such security requirements is needed. So no security requirements can be needed for the wavelength standard. So these are all the different standard units of the wavelength standards and the metal standards. So by here, I can end this video lecture for the introduction of the standard system, that is measurement standard system. Thank you.